Man, I ain't gonna lie. I've been holding a lot of shit in lately. Oh, man, I just had like a 2.5 hour cry. What do I owe? What do I owe the struggle? What do I owe the struggle? When you speak in the public, he wants a cigar, please. When you got there getting into that wash, and you know that shit gonna be good.
The entire game is trembling right now. 50 Cent just dropped explosive recordings that have Rick Ross scrambling in anger. This isn't your average rap beef. It's a full-blown showdown with real consequences. We break down exactly how these powerful audio leaks made their way online. And once you hear what's in them, you'll understand why Ross is suddenly feeling the heat. 50 didn't just make a move. He flipped the whole strategy. And now, the storm has officially hit. New York, the battle has begun.
New York, just like Mount Vernon, New York City, Mount Vernon, and Miami, all that is the same, bro. Nobody wants to be near him. Nobody wants to touch what he touched, be where he at. You understand? It's crazy, bro, how his fall from grace, which was never from grace, it's just like the devil just kicked him out of hell. Because he was never in nothing graceful, did anything graceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about, okay, he did the music, he had the bad boy legacy and everything like that, man. But, you know, a few albums, a few people, you know, made to be famous, but they not here to tell their story. Black Rob, Biggie, Craig Mack. They're not here to tell their story, bro. And now you got everybody telling his story.
Yeah, and I know 50, he did a recent interview with US Weekly saying that the reason why rappers are quiet about, Diddy's situation is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what got caught on tape.
Bro, those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that.
Girl, listen closely. 50 Cent had been moving quietly, and now his entire strategy makes perfect sense. When Ross tried to clown him with the Officer Ricky jokes back in 2009, everyone thought it was just a normal back and forth. But while others chased headlines, 50 was playing the long game. As Ross flexed business wins and flashy luxuries, 50 stayed patient, gathering receipts, watching every move. Ross started feeling untouchable, celebrating new ventures and acting like he ruled the moment. And that's exactly when 50 struck. Those subtle Instagram shots about fake success, just warning signs. Then suddenly, no caption, no promo. 50 dropped that recording. One release, and everything changed. The internet exploded, the music world froze, and Ross finally realized the game was never what he thought it was.
But he had 250 tape recorders in that house that they took, that the feds found. So now with them finding all that and you being at a Diddy party, you know you may have done something that was caught on one of those tapes. You just better pray to God that they don't recognize you. Those people who know that they did something, no, they're not going to speak out. They're not going to say nothing. What part of the game is that? They are not going to come forward and tell on themselves. No, not at all. Ice Cube, he said it himself, bro. He said that Diddy's been targeted because of what he said about those folks and those people. Now, the people who was on those tapes may feel like Diddy might be targeting them. Because if he's asked about who is this, who is that, and he's under oath with the federal government, he got to tell them. He's not going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know that got to be a terrible feeling, man. You did something wrong at Diddy party, and you hoping and praying that it's not caught on tape.
But they don't think they did nothing wrong. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle, bro. I ask guys all the time, if two men lay down, how many homos get up? What you mean? Ain't mean what I mean. It's what it is.
The second 50 dropped that recording, the whole industry snapped into crisis mode. Executives rushed into private meetings. PR teams scrambled to contain the fallout, and anyone tied to Ross or Diddy suddenly went silent. This wasn't a petty shot. It was a calculated strike. Ross was in the middle of business when his phone started lighting up. At first, he shrugged it off, thinking 50 was trolling again, until he watched the clip. That's when the panic hit. The whispers are only getting louder. And remember, this was just phase one. Word is 50 has been sitting on these receipts for years, waiting for the exact right moment to unleash them. So now the real question is, if this was only the opening move, how damaging is what he still hasn't released?
I'm 100% factual, but it's somebody in this story of things that seems more reliable than others, Race, is what I'll say it, just to protect my sources. But this source informed me of who these A-list celebrities are on these tapes that are being allegedly auctioned off online and through the networks. And it's put me in a little bit of a bind because I like to be fully transparent with the audience. I want to say things, but I also realize from what I'm told, because again, I haven't seen them directly yet. I haven't, and I don't know if I want to. Race, I want your advice on that too. But the problem I have is just like, typically I want to report these things, but I got to be careful legally, ethically, morally as to what we report on here. Because as Ariel, the lawyer here, did admit, and I can attest based on the information I got from a separate, reliable source, people in these videos don't know they're being videotaped. That's a big issue, Race, right? Let's start out right there. If there are people on these tapes that don't know that they were being filmed, is that okay to talk about and to share?
I have a big problem with that, as do you, Andy. And you tend to be an ethical guy, and you're taking the high ground here. Notwithstanding the fact that you may have some significant information and reliable information, but the reality is that, look, I mean, people were recorded non-consensually, and you're the one to identify them. I think that's a problem, right? And I think anytime anyone has content, right? This is not an email. This is not a text message. This is a video. And specific statutes, without using specific language, I don't want to get into, but everybody knows what we're talking about here.
It's Diddy with this person. I'll say that. It's Diddy with this person. Actually, yes.
Yeah, and see, the problem is, again, like non-consensually recorded, we've got a victim here who may not want to be publicly identified. That's the problem. That's the problem. And they have a right to proceed if they want to, whether it's criminally or civilly, without being identified, because we know what's going to happen. As soon as they identify themselves, there's going to be a bunch of people that come out of the woodwork who are going to unequivocally harass them and claim that didn't happen. And they're making stuff up. And there's the victims that we want to protect here. And that's significant.
Well, it's interesting because here's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I know a lot of you are like, Andy, just say it. No, I'm not going to say them, but I wanted to have this conversation as to why we're not saying it and why I think others haven't yet said it, Raised, because again, legally,